Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 138 of the Mo Money podcast, and the first episode in season 6 of this show. And happy New Year and happy 2018. Thanks for letting me take a little bit of a break in December. I definitely needed it. I needed some time to organize my life, get some things done, and take a little bit of a rest. And I got one of my last and biggest goals for 2017 done right. I mean, literally a few days before December 31st. So I think I've mentioned it a couple times in the podcast here and there. But I finally completed my training to become a financial counselor. I took the program to become an accredited financial counselor Canada, and finally finished my coursework and passed my last exam on December 29th because I'm a crazy person and I really want to get it done before the new year. And I did it and I passed. Woo woo. And I finally got my accreditation and my certificate. So if you're ever wondering, hey, who is this chick talking about money and what's her credentials? Well, I've got some in the form of a certificate as accredited financial counselor Canada. So there you go. So that is a big thing that I accomplished. I hope you all have had a lovely holiday season as well and are ready to take charge in 2018. If you need some kind of motivation, highly recommend you check out my YouTube channel where I have some videos about me kind of deconstructing my 2017 vision board and then making a new one for this new year. Honestly, vision boards, they sound silly, sound ridiculous. They totally work, though. They totally work. I can't believe I accomplished most of what I had on my vision board. Yeah, I'm a convert. I'm into vision boards now. It's a thing. I love it. It's great. But anyways, that's not what this episode is about. It's not about vision boards. This one I'm so excited about because I get to talk to someone I used to listen to myself on the radio for years, though he doesn't like me sharing at what age. I was young. I may have been in middle school, but still. I'm talking about, I am going to be interviewing Buzz Bishop, who is the founder of DadCamp, a popular Canadian dad blog, and also a community that he created to encourage fathers to meet up, get together with their kids, to make friends, share ideas, and just have a good old fun time. And his website focuses on creating a discussion around parenting issues, the portrayal of fathers in the media, and of course, stories about his 2 boys. Buzz is also a radio host and media professional with over 25 years experience and has, of course, been featured on every kind of media outlet you can imagine, the Globe and Mail, CBC, CNN, and even Good Morning America. And in this episode, we're going to talk about why he started DadCamp, why he wanted to get this conversation flowing about parenting, and then dive into some money talk, how he learned about money and how he's teaching his kids about money and why he thinks it's so important. So before I get to that fabulous interview with Buzz Bishop, here is just a few words about this episode's sponsor. Support for this episode of the Mo Money podcast comes from Tangerine Investments. Did you know that over a quarter of Canadians are committing to better money management practices for 2018? Did you also know that 63% of Canadians feel that investing is scary? If you're nodding your head right now because you're in one, if not both of those groups, then let's turn those New Year's resolutions into actionable goals this year. And let's start by getting you over that fear of investing so you can start growing your money to reach your financial goals sooner. Not sure where to start? You should check out Tangerine. Tangerine offers investment funds that are low cost, and they have a simple approach that doesn't require you to be an expert. Tangerine offers 5 distinct portfolios depending on your needs, risk tolerance, and investment goals. The best part? You can get started online in minutes, and their investment experts are just a phone call away. To learn more, visit tangerine.ca/investments. Once again, that's tangerine.ca/investments. Thank you, Buzz, for joining me on the Mo Money podcast. I'm so excited to have you on here.
No problem. Thanks for having me on, Jessica. Appreciate it.
You're so welcome. As I mentioned before I hit the record button, long-time listener to you, so it's kind of funny to do this, to have you on my show. That's crazy.
Yeah, thanks for adding the long time part. You couldn't say you just,
I mean, not that long ago.
No, I didn't listen to you in 1993 when I was in grade 8 or something.
I won't mention the year, but whatever. Come on. I'm fangirling. Just let me have it. So I'm super pumped that you're on my show, because, well, even though I know you as being a radio personality, you, I want to kind of get into a little bit about where you came from, everything like that. But I think it's so cool that you've got a new venture called DadCamp, which I love. I think it's brilliant because it's not just about like community building, but it's also about giving back. So I'm like, that's amazing.
No, when I lost my job about 6 years ago, when I first experienced a break in employment, I needed a way to network and meet with other dads. And there was great unconferences that happened in the early days of social media, where there was bar camp and cupcake camp and demo camp, where people would get together and talk about new ideas for entrepreneurship and new apps and business ventures. And an unconference would happen where people would scribble on a whiteboard the topics they would want to discuss. And then the crowd would say, oh, we want Joe to talk to us about finance. And then that's what would happen during that conference. Now, my son was born. He was just about 2 and had another one on the way. And I couldn't always go to these unconference events where everybody was networking and having fun. And so I decided to create DadCamp, an unconference collection of meetups for guys whose career and personal life and family were all kind of in flux. And so we had meetups where we'd go and ride a big miniature train together, or we'd go to a junior hockey game together, pick pumpkins in a pumpkin patch, and we'd bring our kids and meet, talk about dad things, but we were active and engaged parents at the same time. And so that's kind of what DadCamp has blossomed into for me. It's the name of my blog and my parenting site and my online persona when it comes to dealing with my kids. But it's opened me up to a world of guys who are active and engaged parents, who dads are parents too. We need diaper change tables in our bathrooms, and none of these doofus dads in product commercials. And we're just trying to elevate the perception of fatherhood in mass media. And so what I was doing in my little clique in Vancouver has now become an international thing. And the Dad 2.0 Summit is having its 7th meeting in February in New Orleans. And that's just a collection of dads getting around and talking about being dads and doing the blogging thing on the side. But it's just kind of like, I love my kids. I love being a dad. What's it like being a dad raising daughters? Or what's it like being a gay dad? And just all the issues around fatherhood. And it's awesome.
That is amazing. And it's true. When I think of, kind of parenting groups, you kind of think of the typical mom groups. I think it's like there aren't that many. Yeah, mom groups. I'm a mom.
I know exactly, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean. But there isn't. I didn't know before I heard of DadCamp. I'm like, I don't think there's anything like that out there before you created that. I've never heard of anything like it.
We also have a collection of Canadian dads. There's Chris Reed, who runs Canadian Dad Blog in Ottawa. Casey Palmer runs a blog in Toronto. Michael Kwan is in Vancouver. Justin Connors is back east in the Maritimes. We've got a collection of dad bloggers too, and we just kind of hide in the corners of the internet. But we're networking and working together to try and raise fatherhood as being more than just the guy who goes to work and tucks his kids into bed.
As it should be, because as we all know, kids will grow up into more independent, more confident adults when they have both a mom and a father figure. It can't just be, one or the other. It's so important. I mean, I know I grew up into a very strong, confident woman because I had a really strong, confident dad that really supported me and was present.
Yeah, parenting is a team sport.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's awesome. So part of DadCamp, though, is also there's that giving back portion. Do you want to kind of talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So, many people who write blogs and act as influencers. We can make money doing endorsements and working on behalf of products and brands. And I tell the stories of my kids and the things we do. And sometimes it's a deal with Boston Pizza or Dyson or Tangerine. And we get paid for those things. I flip that money into Team Diabetes and Diabetes Canada. I've been an ambassador for them for about 12 years. I run marathons and half marathons around the world. And I'm a regional chair for Diabetes Canada. And it's just kind of that thing that has inspired me as a way to give back. You know, I look at parents of kids with type 1 diabetes and how they have to get up 3 times in the night to check their kids, and how they, can you imagine sending a 5-year-old off to kindergarten or to grade 1 and trusting that they know how to do the calculations of what they're eating, how they're exercising, and how to measure their blood sugar. And many regions across Canada don't have protocols for kids with diabetes when they're at school. So I think about that and the chance for them to go to summer camp and meet other kids. And at the same time, it's all about keeping myself healthy and active. So, you know, maybe type 2 diabetes stays far, 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 far down the road. So I'm passionate about working with Diabetes Canada, and I'm glad DadCamp gives me a chance to give back to it.
That's awesome. I think that's so, I don't know, exciting, because as an influencer, I'm always very conscious of, yes, I make money by partnering with brands, but I also want to make sure there's that element of giving back, helping others, because we are in kind of a unique situation where we can do that. We do have influence. So let's make sure to, you know, make that kind of part of our brand.
Exactly. And doing something that involves kids and being healthy and active, I just whenever I see something proactive with Diabetes Canada and how they work things, it's kind of selfish. You know, giving back really is a selfish thing.
I know, because you feel good.
I love how it makes me feel. So that's kind of, I'm being selfish when I give back, because I love how it makes me feel.
I know. It's a good selfish, but I know what you mean. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about, I think that's amazing that you have this kind of part of you, and you're still you're still on the radio. You're still doing that. So you're a very busy guy.
On the air in Vancouver and Calgary. Yeah.
Amazing. So we talked a bit about how you choose to use the money that you make as an influencer and, you know, of the owner of DadCamp and everything like that. But it does seem like, you know, you are at a certain level of success. You clearly know how, you know, a value of a dollar and how to manage your money well, because you've gotten to this level. When did you learn how to manage your money well and responsibly?
I don't. Really, it has been a recent thing. I'm the kid who, when you'd go out at Halloween trick-or-treating, all of my candy would be done like within 48 hours.
Oh, really?
My brother and sister would hoard it and save it and keep track of it. I'm a very much an instant gratification person. Mm-hmm. And without certain tools that I had early in my life, I would be in a very bad place today. It's only really been in the past 2 years that I've really focused on how to handle my paycheck and how it manages debt and getting rid of debt and really focusing on saving. But it was my dad in my early 20s, once I got my first job, that told me to get an RESP and knock $50 a paycheck or $100 or whatever you can afford. But in my early 20s is when I started doing that. And without that lag time, I'd be in a terrible situation right now. It's only been in the past couple of years where I've gone, I mean, I've had the same financial planner the whole way, but I've gone and looked at where I am and where I'm going to be. You know, something happens in your mid 40s where all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I am really close to retirement.
Yeah, you're close.
You know, you're close. It's like you want to look back and go, did I do it right? And look forward, and am I in the right path? So I'm in that position where I'm looking both directions. And I'm thankful my dad told me in my early 20s to put something away. And even though there have been big downfalls in the economy since then, especially that 2008 hit, which knocked everybody down.
Terrible year.
I've been doing it for 20 years, so I'm okay. And now as I look forward and I'm at a certain successful point in my career, I'm putting more money than I ever thought possible away, and I'm going to be okay at the end. But it really is looking back and starting early that really saved me, because the everyday in and out thing, I'm terrible at it.
So you kind of mentioned that there's a couple tools that really helped you get to where you are. It sounds like one of those tools is kind of doing like that, pay yourself first is kind of like the term, right? So you're putting money away into your RSP. It's locked in there. You cannot touch it. That's clearly been a successful tool for you.
Yes, it has. And it's only been recently that I've been able to use tools like a TFSA or some sort of liquid savings, where if something does go sideways and is traumatic in my life, that I I have emergency savings that I can get at, but it's really the long-term stuff that is keeping me okay.
So basically you kind of, it sounds like you have the structure of, you know what your bills are and your expenses are, but you tuck your money away into all those savings accounts, your emergency fund, your TFSA, your RSP, and then you kind of spend the rest, and it kind of works for you. It's less complicated. It's not that complicated.
Every 2 weeks or twice a month, it's a zero, but
still. But it's not negative.
Exactly. And off the top, it's gone into the savings account, like right off the paycheck. So that has been absolutely crucial for me, is having something locked up far away where I don't know the password and I can't get at it without asking permission. So, I did access it once to make my first home purchase.
Yeah.
Borrowed from that and paid it back over time. And that was very beneficial. But having an RSP locked away has been awesome.
So that's great. I highly recommend that to people that don't like, for me, I'm obviously a numbers person. I like to track my spending like a hawk. I'm crazy like that. I get pleasure out of it. Most people don't. So I think, doing kind of how you do is kind of the easiest way for anyone to actually, save without really feeling the pain of it. You don't miss it, right? Because it's automatic. You don't even see it.
No, it's when I get that, when I get the pay stub, it's already gone, and it's never in my bank account to begin with. It's taken out the same day I get paid. And so you never really, you never made it in the first place. It's just an extra tax on yourself.
Exactly. I like that, tax on yourself. Exactly. I like that. So knowing that, what are you trying to instill in your kids so they'll, be at your level when they're your age, or if not, further ahead?
Sure. The first thing we did is immediately after our kids were born is we opened an RESP in their name. And this is so great because when your kids are under 2, trust me, they don't need anything. And everybody wants to tell you, oh, what can I get them? Let's get some booties. Let's get a toy. Let's get a book. It's like, no, just make sure they're clean and smiling and fed and they sleep. Like, that's all they really need.
Yeah.
So when it comes to all these spoiling, cute onesies and diaper bags and all that stuff, tell people just to put money in the RESP. You want to give my kid a $25 gift? Put the $25 over here. I'll give you the link. And so my parents did that with first Christmas presents and birthday presents. Okay, maybe they bought them something small.
Yeah.
But the bulk of what they wanted to spend went into that. And now it's going to sit there for 18 years. And now, I've looked at that assessment in the past little bit when I was looking at my financial planning. And I looked at my boys and I said, guess what? Whatever you want to do when you grow up, you can do it. I've got that money and I've still got 8 more years left before he graduates high school. And I looked at him, wow, we're going to be perfectly set up because the day he was born, we opened that RESP. And that is so crucial.
Huge, because not only do they then have the opportunity to choose a school that they want to go to, but they will also have the luxury of not taking out a huge student loan and not have that debt burden when they graduate, which is, I think, the hardest realization that people my age are, they'll graduate. It's hard finding a job still, and then they have like $50,000 in debt. So, right.
Having
that as your kind of starting point as an adult sucks.
And especially with the government's matching 20% upfront, and again, it doesn't have to be a lot. It can be $50 a month. And over 18 years, you're going to look, I've got $25,000 all of a sudden, right? Where
exactly.
Maybe it's not enough to pay if they want to do 12 years of medical school, but you're going to give them that leap in and that first step, and that's going to be crucial.